So, oh my God, I'm so tired. Okay, I'm in a mood. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. My existence in this world isn't a twilight zone anymore. I don't know what the hell it is. I have complained previously about calling on the phone and having a hard time, right? Just dealing with agencies and stuff like that. Okay. 3 months ago about, I was like, I can't see out of these glasses anymore. I need bifocals. I gotta do something, right? So I decided I'm gonna make an appointment with the eye doctor. Now, I don't know when the last time I went to the eye doctor. Well, now I make that worse. I don't know when the last time I went to the eye doctor was. It's really bright in here, or is it my eyeballs? Anyway, it looks dark to me sitting here. Why it looks so bright on the screen? Anyways, so I made an appointment like 3 months ago, thinking they're going to tell me in a couple weeks or whatever, because I've always just made an appointment and gone. I didn't have to wait a long time. So that, oh well, the next appointment's like September, the end of September, and I'm like, fine, whatever. At the time I'm thinking, all right, fine, I'm never getting eyeglasses because I'm not going to be here. My life's going to be somewhere else. It's going to have moved on. Of course not. This is what I mean. I don't know. So I made the appointment, right? Then as September's coming, I'm like, okay, I know I have an eye doctor's appointment. Well, as I'm in September, I'm like, I know I have an eye doctor's appointment, but I'm not sure which day. Then as I've been going to the therapist on Tuesdays, not lately, but I was going on Tuesdays, I said, let me find out when that appointment is. So I call them like a person would call a place, because they're supposed to have a phone, because they're a business. Now this is Advanced Eye Centers. I think that's what it's called. Hang on. Yeah, they have a website, so I call a phone number. It sounds like a fax machine. This is like, I don't know, a week and a half ago or something. Now, I just got a new phone, right? So I got a new phone number. So I'm like, if they try to call me, if they've got my old phone number, they won't be able to call me. So I need to talk to them then, you know. Then I'm like, okay, let me look. There must be a main number, because these Advanced Eye Centers have different places, you know. It's, you know, they have franchises or whatever we want to call them. So I said, well, since that just sounds like an answer machine and there's no main number, I'm looking on the website, there's no main 1-800 something. So let me call the one in the next town over, Dartmouth, right? So I call the Dartmouth one. All it says is we're closed. It doesn't say, oh, you know, these are our hours, blah, blah, blah. This is, we're closed. I'm like, okay. I go back and look on the website. It says they're open. I'm like, fine, whatever. So I said, I give up, right? I'll try again later on. So then, yesterday, I'm like, I really gotta call and make sure, right? Because I don't trust myself. I do things like I will write down 2:30 instead of 3:30 when I'm trying to write in my date book or write on a piece of paper what the person's telling me for an appointment or something. So I always check ahead. Like a week ahead, I look ahead at what I gotta do. If I see I have an appointment or I'm supposed to do something, I make sure. Or if there's some place, a meeting I'm supposed to go to, I'll look online, make sure. I don't just ever assume that I took down the information right or that I have the right information. And this is kind of my problem right now. There's no making sure, there's no getting information, because everything is a mess. So yesterday I tried to call again. Still sounds like a fax machine. I'm like, are they no longer even a business? Because on the weekend one day when they weren't open, I walked past where they used to be and it says we moved. And they moved to the Bank of America building, which is diagonal across the street. But as it was a time they weren't open, I couldn't go in. So I was surprised, because it was like, why would an eye doctor move when it was kind of attached to the health center? Why would they move across the street? It just was weird, right? So I'm like, okay, that makes no sense to me at all. But I looked at the phone number on the door, and it's the same phone number. I'm like, okay. So yesterday I called. Again, it sounds like the fax machine. And I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. So then I tried calling Dartmouth again. The same message that says they're closed. I'm like, are they just out of business? Because why would it just be like we're currently closed? Not like call back later, any of that stuff. Just, you know, if you have an emergency, call this number. Anyway, it's like, well, I'll call, you know, way towns over. I'll call the next town. So I call Fall River. They're not there. So it's an answering service. Somebody explain to me what's going on. Anyway, so I get the answering service. I'm like, yeah, I know that this is an emergency or anything. I was just trying to get the New Bedford number because I'm calling the number and it sounds like a fax machine. I'm looking on the website. There's no main number. I called Dartmouth. They're not there. So I'm wondering if by chance you would have a phone number for the New Bedford office. She's like, no, I don't. But I'll Google it. Of course she's going to get the same shit I did. So I'm just like, oh, okay, thank you. She Googles it. It's like the same phone number. I'm like, no, it's the same phone number. All right, thank you. So I can't check. I can't check, right? I had to walk far again yesterday. I'm exhausted. I wake up this morning, everything freaking hurts. I keep off and on, I keep feeling like I have super arthritis. This been going on all 2021, but not every day. Then one day will come, I'll just be fine, and I'll just go around like nothing happened, and I'll forget I even had the problem. So that would happen off and on, not just in this last. So if anybody's trying to think this is COVID or something, I don't think so, because it doesn't feel like muscles, it doesn't feel like, and it's off and on. And it's been off and on for a couple years. That's what I'm saying. This to me was I was developing, you know, osteoporosis, old age, bones, arthritis, whatever, as time was going on. Ever since I had I'd gotten those shots that time, those Lupron shots. So I'm exhausted. I wake up this morning exhausted. I wake up, the alarm, I actually heard the alarm this time at 6:35. And I laid there. I laid there for an hour and a half almost. I did not get up to go pee, nothing. I just laid there. I'm like, no, I'm tired. I woke up and I had to take deep breaths just to relax and calm down. Waking up, I'm exhausted. And I'm like, I can't believe this. So I'm walking down. So I'm like, I got to go, though. I got to walk down. I got to go to this appointment, you know. So I get going. I'm walking down there, and it's just, so I'm like, I feel like I've been walking for days. This isn't first thing, this doesn't feel like first thing in the morning. This feels like the end of the day when I've been walking for hours, and I'm just starting to walk. I go, and I walk, and I get down there, and it's just like, I'm ready to collapse. I'm like, I could really just take a nap right in the street, you know? Just lay down and take a nap in the street. I eventually get myself there. I get to the thing, I get to the desk, I'm telling her about how I couldn't get through, you know, and all this stuff, and I think I have an appointment at 10 o'clock. I was trying to make sure, but I'm, you know, and she's like, well, you do have an appointment for 10 o'clock tomorrow. And I'm just like, I'm there, and my legs, my back, my arms are killing me. This is the thing that I want to stress when I'm complaining about, oh, I walked all over the place and I ache. My arms hurt. I don't walk on my arms. This is why I'm like, it's some kind of, any amount of effort just saps all the energy out of every part of me, but it doesn't feel like muscles, it feels like bones. So I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, I can't believe I just knocked myself out. I'm going to waste time instead of doing other things. This is the story of my life. This is why nothing gets accomplished, because I'm always knocking myself out for nothing. Now this communication thing, I don't know what the fuck this is, where for the last, especially 2021, but for this whole pandemic, and it's getting worse and worse and worse, you cannot get on the phone and get an answer. If I had been able to call them, if I had been able to check last week, no problem. None of this would have happened to me. So I have to walk back as well. Remember, I don't have money for the bus. This is why I'm walking everywhere and why I'm hurting so bad. Because I'm not able to recuperate from the day before. Because, yeah, I'm fat and all that stuff. That's not what it is. I've been fat for a long time, off and on. And, no, this is not why it hurts. And it doesn't help me lose weight because I've always walked. We never had a car. So I take the bus and walk. If walking was going to make me thin, I would have never been fat. So, yeah, I'm exhausted. And I'm like, I gotta walk all the way back home. I wasted time and I've wasted my energy. Anything else I would have done, I'm gonna just have to, collapse on the couch. The fact that I'm sitting up, my spine hurts right now. My back hurts because I'm not flat. So I'm telling her, and I'm like, I can't believe it. And she's like, oh, you have an appointment for tomorrow, but we'll do your insurance stuff and all that, right? So I'm just sitting there going, I can't believe this. Then but she's like, oh, we've been having problems with our phone. And I'm like, okay. And then she's saying it, and I was like, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm telling you this. You should be concerned because this is, I'm thinking this, I'm not saying this to her face. You should be concerned, and, because you're a business and people need to call you. You're a doctor's office, you know what I mean? People need to be able to call in. And if they can't, then there needs to be, you know what I mean? That's the only way. There's no, here's the email, contact us by email. Oh, here's a website, here's a pull down menu, call, put in some information and we'll get back to you. There's none of that. There's the one phone number with no main number, and that phone number's not working. And I'm just like, I was like, well, yeah, because it was like that last week too. I'm trying to make her understand that for more than a week, I've been calling and getting this fax machine sound. Which means people just cannot get through. She's like, oh yeah, we've been having problems with our phone. And she's saying that, and I'm standing there. And I'm like, I've heard this before. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, I take the bus. I complained about the bus. I've complained about the bus a lot. There were times in the last couple of years where I called to complain or I called to do something about the bus. I call the main number that I've been calling for years and years and years, and I can't get through. It's like it just rings and rings and rings and rings or something. And as this has happened over the last couple of years, and I will tell the woman who works there, I know who she is, she knows who I am. We've been having problems with our phone. So I'm like, wait a minute. The bus company, SRTA, SRTA, are in the same building. And I'm like, wait a minute, this building, this Bank of America building, this whatever it is, like something like 700 Pleasant Street, this eye doctor just moved in this building. They're having problems with their phones. You just can't contact them. It's not like, you're getting an answering machine and nobody's calling you back. That's not what's happening. Just the phone, you cannot connect through the phone. And I'm like, this is deja vu all over again, because and now I'm like, wait a minute, sir, does the same thing. Off and on for the last couple years. They've been saying to me, oh yeah, well, we're having problems with our phone. And I'm like, this is a fancy office building. These companies are obviously paying rent. And I'm like saying to myself, how can you, this office building's phone lines are shit. And these people are trying to run businesses. And they're paying for it, obviously. But the phone lines are shit. So they could be calling the, phone company saying, oh, there's something. And the phone company's like, oh, no, it's fine. Who knows what's going on between them and the phone company if they're calling them. But it's clear. It's this freaking building. And I'm just saying to myself, I swear to God, this is why I say I have been wasted in my life. Because I am always figuring out things for other people. I am always coming to conclusions about other people. I problem solve for the world. I just show up and start solving, not fixing their problems, but I figure out what the problem is. I have some latent detective skills, and just from me being around and going around and having experience and knowing this place and knowing that place, I put two and two together that other people don't put together. And this is why I'm like, I'm a wasted human being, because I'm very good at this. I'm very good at troubleshooting, and it just happens without me even trying. And I'm saying to myself, oh, this is the same thing. But like I said, this lady at the desk at the eye doctor was like, oh yeah, we've been having problems. Like, well, it happens, but it's like, you gotta solve the problem, And I'm just like, this is what has been happening to me now. I'm exhausted. I wasted time, wasted energy. I feel horrible. Nothing got accomplished. I can't afford the chi. You know, I don't have money, so there's no point in even talking about that. If I had wasted bus fare, I didn't waste bus fare. I wasted feet fare, you know. I'm like, this is what's happening to me. I'm putting in a lot of effort. I'm getting exhausted. I'm being made tired. I'm literally knocking myself out over and over and over again, and have been for a long time, to no avail. It's just, what are you supposed to tell yourself? How are you supposed to go into the world? Okay, I'm not going to do anything at all. I'm not going to bother trying to go to the eye doctor because it's all going to get fucked up, so forget it. What am I supposed to tell myself to change the situation? So that I am not constantly beating myself up for nothing. You know, putting in a Herculean effort to get, you know, $1 worth of quarters. You know what I mean? What? I've been trying to let go and let God. I've been trying to surrender. That's how I ended up in this situation. You know, thinking I should have never done that. I really don't know what to tell myself. Because I want to say, what am I doing wrong? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing everything that should work, and everything is a dead end. Like I said, this communication stuff. Hermes, right? The god. Was Hermes a trickster? Was that a thing? I'm walking up the hill trying to remember if Hermes, the from mythology, Mercury, was something of a trickster. If I had, like, if that's just Pan, am I mixing things up? Is there supposed to be miscommunication? Because I know all about Mercury retrograde. That's either supposed to be coming or just starting. But this has been going on. Mercury retrograde been going on. Mercury retrograde type shit been going on for 2 years straight. And it's gradually getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. If you want to talk about media, that doesn't even matter. I'm just talking about everybody. Because even last year during the pandemic, when people were trying to call and get unemployment, stuff like that, you would hear news reports about how they couldn't get on the phone. And that happens with these agencies and stuff where you have to wait a long time. Well, what's happening now is people aren't there. I just told you the story about this eye doctors, which is a business, which must have got some kind of fund, must have got something. But it's a business, and I can't call them. There's one phone number and that's it. They don't have a main phone number for all their businesses. There's no email on the website. I try to tweet them, and I'm like, you haven't tweeted in 7 years, but I'm supposed to have an appointment tomorrow, I think, but I can't find out. You know, this is a business with fancy offices and people get paid. But yet, I could not contact them. And when I explained that to the girl, she's okay with it. The lady there, excuse me. She's not, it's not that she's okay with it, it's just the excuse she's telling people, because that's what she's been told to tell people. What I'm going to do is I'm going to complain to somebody who I think may know better, and I'm going to say, look, hey, you know, I think I've determined it's your building, it's not your office. If you don't know that already, I don't know what to do, but you're paying rent to these people, and your phone lines are shit, and it's not just you, it's that building. You know, because... But this has been going on. I'm over here. I opened this book. I actually get these. I splurged on this at the beginning of the year because I felt like I didn't buy it last year, and I felt like that was my whole mess. But I don't like the way the person has done the weekly horoscope things. Let's see. September 28th is Mercury retrograde. Anyway, I gotta now look up Hermes and Mercury and see if he's a trickster. You know what? I didn't write down the wrong date. I looked at my date book wrong. Oh my God. See? I looked at it yesterday. I looked specifically at this page yesterday. And last week. But I wrote the phone number in here, and that phone number don't work. Alright, when is Mercury retrograde? You know why I do that? Because the day starts with Monday instead of Sunday, so it makes me, and this is why, see, I can't read anymore. This is why I need bifocals. When the hell is Mercury retrograde? I know it's supposed to be coming. Or did it already start? Anyway, the point is, it has been like this. Oh no, it started on Sunday. Okay, but it's been going on. See, I looked at the date book wrong. So that's, I swore, honestly, I'll tell you what. This is the date book, right? Wait. If you asked me to draw a picture of this, I thought it was here. I thought the writing I did was here on the Tuesday. I did think it was on up higher on the page. I'm mentally ill too. This is why I told them. I said, I'm slipping. But I looked yesterday, and if you had told, I would have said, if they said, is it on the stuff you wrote, was it on the top half of the page or the bottom half of the page? I would have said the top half. And I would have said it was in the second section on Tuesday. I looked yesterday. I looked last week, and both times I said Tuesday. You know about that, and I'm not saying this is it because I'm blaming myself for looking at that, but I did try to call for a week and a half to make sure that it was the right day either way. I can't believe I swear to God, I can't believe that. I really thought I had read it yesterday on the second one on Tuesday. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding at all. But also, I've been trying to call them, and all that other shit that I said is true. That did happen. What do they call that thing? I want to say the Schumann response. The Schumann response is something else. The thing where the Mandela effect. I'm not saying this is the Mandela effect, but there's too many things in this world we don't understand. There's too much shit going on. And I should do more stuff about, like, the things that are going on that make me think it's definitely the end of the world and everything else. But I've been so worried about money. And so just trying to get through the day and do day things. And being aches and pains and all this other shit. That I've been, at the most, I've been trying to do, like, a little reaction or these reviews and stuff like that. I was over here, I'm catching up on stuff from last year that's now, you know, available in the library that I couldn't afford to stream or whatever. So I was going to watch that Wonder Woman movie from last year. See how wretched, or was it the beginning of this year? I don't know. See how wretched it is. I think it was last year. Because I've been trying to do that instead of just complaining all the time. My complaints are complaints, but I think I try to frame it in the larger world. And for me, there's shit going on. I swore that was higher on that page yesterday. I'm not kidding. And I kept thinking Tuesday because last week, when I was making an appointment with the therapist for this week, I said, I think I have an eye doctor appointment on Tuesday. All this time, I've been thinking it was the Tuesday. I looked at it last week. I looked at it yesterday. Both times, I thought it was on the Tuesday in my date book. This is why I call and check and recheck and recheck and recheck. I know I'm not perfect. I know I make more mistakes than I used to. I get more scrambled up than I used to. That's why I think it's old age. That's why I was trying to get help. I have mental problems with moving forward in life. That's what the main idea of me going to a therapist was, but also I felt like I needed to go to a doctor and get cognitive tests, which apparently takes 1,000,000 years. So you just light yourself on fire way before you get the cognitive test, I guess. I don't know. It's been over a month I've been asking for that. She said she put in the referral thing or whatever you're supposed to get. So I don't know. I can't believe I would swear on a stack of Bibles that their writing was on the Tuesday in my own date book. My writing was in my date book on Tuesday. I would swear on a stack of Bibles. Now I gotta find out if Mercury is up to no good. I can tell you, St. Anthony been on vacation for like 10 years. I've been dealing with St. Michael, if we're talking about angels and gods and goddesses and sprites, and my spirit guides think I'm a funny reality show. They help, but they think I have everything under control, so they only show up and like they only give me crumbs. Look at my hair. It's beautiful. Frances McDormand goes to the premiere of her thing wearing what somebody else called a green screen, and with her hair looking worse than mine. I'm like, my God. I mean, she's always been one of my favorite actresses, but that lady's a trip. Anyway, I'm losing it. This is going up without fixing the audio.